Baie welkom by ons eerste opname by die Besigheidsskool vir 2017. Welcome to our first recording of our YouTube program at the Business School, the Northwest School for Business and Corporate Governance. I've got two guests today. The first is Mr. Tim du Plessis, the keynote speaker of the opening of the MBA program for 2017. And my second guest is the current director of the school, Professor Tommy du Plessis. Tim, I'm going to start with you. You gave a very impressive overview of changes in the world as it impacts on South Africa and globally. What were those 4 or 5 major issues that you thought the students should know about in terms of the way change takes place and the kind of changes that you want them to take note of?
I think if there's only one thing, Theo, then it is very important that students understand change is inevitable. It cannot be resisted. Change happens all the time. And you must make a distinction between change that you can have an impact on, that you can steer in a specific direction, and certain changes over which you have no control. And I think you need the wisdom to distinguish between two of those things. The backdrop of my speech this morning was the period of global uncertainty that we've moved into. There's a specific world order that's coming to an end now. It is benignly known as globalization. It is what followed in the world after the collapse of after the end of the Cold War. And that's the big backdrop. That's the canvas a canvas of change on which all other changes in the world, in our country, all over the world are taking place. And students must be aware of that. Especially ones like MBA students in business leadership roles, because they will have to steer their organizations, their businesses through a period of change. And what is really made it very clear to us, abundantly so, that change is happening is the Brexit vote in Britain last year, where people are saying, we don't believe this is working for us, middle class people. And then also the election of President Donald Trump in America. Now that reaction to change, I thought was the wrong reaction, because Brexit happened because people said, British voters said, not all of them, but a majority of them said, we want to go back to what obtained in the past. And Donald Trump says, let's make America great again. Let's go back to what worked in the past 30, 40 years ago. You cannot do that. And that was the essence of what I said.
Yes, and I found that very interesting and a very good perspective. Towards the end of your talk, you also provided the students with some practical advice, which I thought was very well received by the students. Can you maybe repeat a few of them?
Well, first of all, I think what I said earlier is embrace change, and then you must also understand that sometimes it takes much longer than you're used to, than you think, but once it starts to happen, it can happen with breakneck speed. So that's something which is, I think that every young person who will be in a leadership role shortly is something that they must understand. And also the fact that students must understand that no certainties are ever going to prevail any longer.
But you also, as a final question to you, indicated that there's certain literature that they should expose themselves to.
What I said, read your business books, because they study business science, these students. Read your business books, they're important, but read at least one autobiography or a biography of a historically significant person, because it's people who make history. It's people who start changes, who implement changes. Read their story, what motivated them. I think that's very important. And then also, pieces of wisdom. Try and see why people are doing things, and by saying that, I say is try and understand why things are happening. You don't have to condone, just understand. It's a piece of practical advice, as I said, I wish someone had given me decades ago when I started my career.
Thanks, Tim. Tommy, Prof. Dan Gwadi was invited to open the business school. He also did the same thing 2 years ago when he challenged us to become one business school. Can you maybe relate from your position, where are we now with the business school? What have we achieved? And on your watch, what is the things that make you feel good about the school?
Well, I think what Tim has said is applicable on the business school and the environment that we are in at this moment. I don't say we were forced, but the challenge was put to us for the two business schools, the one in Mafeking and the one in Potchefstroom, and Van Bout Park to become one. So we're busy with that process because it's an alignment that is not something that happens overnight. It's still also in the same breath, we've changed from a 3-year MBA to a 2-year MBA. So it all happens simultaneously, and it doesn't happen overnight. So yes, I think those are the challenges for the students, for the lecturers alike, as far as the alignment is concerned. Then we also had our AMBA accreditation, and we haven't stopped there. We're also already looking at the AACSB, the second one of the 3 large institutions that accredit the MBA. So yes, a lot of changes still. The change is not over as yet. So we're all busy with that at present.
My laaste vraag aan jou in Afrikaans. Jy tree vanjaar uit, na 'n hele aantal jaar as direkteur van die besigheidskool. As jy terugkyk, waaroor voel jy goed? Wat dink jy is die groot uitdagings wat nou van hier af aan vir ons voorlê?
Ja. Ag, daar so baie goed. Ons het so baie hoogtepunte gehad. Ek wens, en ek dink hulle sal wys hoeveel mense was vanoggend by die opening gewees. Dit na slegs 2 jaar van 'n nuwe MBA en ook die nagraadse diploma, die getalle is absoluut verstommend. Wie sou kon dink 4-5 jaar gelede dat dit gaan gebeur. So ons voel baie goed oor, die mense kom na ons te verreëre. Prof Dan het dit ook genoem. Ons roem onsself daarop dat ons gee waarde vir geld. En ek glo dat dit moet voortduur, en ek glo dit sal voortduur. Ons is 'n klein plattelandse skooltjie, nie meer klein as jy na volgens die getalle kyk nie. Maar ek dink as dit gehandhaaf kan word, gaan ek baie tevrede hier weg. En daar's geen rede hoekom nie. Ek dink ook ons kortleerprogramme, ons executive education, soos hulle sê, baie groot uitdaging vir ons, sowel as Mafeking. Ons het 'n rol om te speel in die sakewêreld en in die koöperatiewe wêreld, sowel as by die staatsinstellings, en ons moet daai rol speel.
Tommy en Tim, baie dankie vir hierdie gesprek. And with this, I am ending my first recording for 2017. Thank you very much.